One of the biggest questions I get asked as a white British Muslim revert is this: why did I choose Islam over Christianity? Just for a bit of background, I was christened as a child, but I was never practicing Christian, and neither were my family. But I did go to a Christian primary school, as a lot of people in the UK do. It was a Church of England school. So I do have quite a bit of background knowledge about the Bible and stories in the Bible, etc., how Christians practice the religion. I would say for me, one of the main reasons that Islam appealed to me, one of the most obvious reasons, is the role of the Prophet Jesus. So in Islam, Jesus is still a figure, and a very important one. But instead of being either the Son of God or sort of like a human version of God on earth, like it is in Christianity, Jesus is simply a prophet of God, the same as Muhammad or Abraham. And for me, this just seems a lot more logical, because one of the things that never really worked for me with Christianity was this idea of the Trinity and the fact that the Holy Presence is divided into different versions. Because my personal belief in God is a very logical thing. I've studied philosophy. I know that there has to be a first cause of everything, and God is the most likely version of this. But the idea that overall cause could be split into different things and even captured into a human, and then you worship that human, that just never worked for me. And that's largely why I just did not feel like I could be a Christian. And then I would say the second biggest reason is the fact that Islam is a bit more of a behavior-based and an action-based religion. A lot of the time in Christianity, I found that people, they were Christians, they were practicing Christians, but the idea of being a practicing Christian was not actually doing that much stuff. People would go to church on Sunday, but that's about it. In Islam, every single day you're practicing the religion and you're doing things that say I'm a Muslim and that connect you to God. Whereas in Christianity, I don't really think that's the case. People are Christians, but it doesn't have as big of an influence on their daily lives, in my experience and what I've witnessed. Something really important about Islam is that it doesn't just influence how you act religiously, but it influences how you act in every regard of your life. And that is explicitly written into the Quran. And for example, a lot of Christians haven't read the whole Bible, a lot of Christians that I've met, whereas every single Muslim I've met has read the Quran. So that's just one example of where I think that Muslims are a lot more practicing than other religions. Of course, there are many other reasons why I am a Muslim and not a Christian, but these are just the main ones I can think of, and the most obvious ones that people would question.